with Photoshop. Oh, wrong Photoshop, huh? Oh, no, it's all right. Okay. So let's say I was trying to choose this mountain and I used, well, let's just use the lasso tool just for kicks. Okay. And I went like that. And I said, well, yeah, okay, not so great. And I want to get rid of some of that because it selected too much up here. Well, I can go in and I can go to my quick select tool, go to the minus, and change that brush size. Oops. And go in and look at that. I'm using a tool. Even though I didn't make the original selection with that tool, I can add or subtract to a selection with it. Okay? All right. I'm going to deselect that. I want to close that without saving it. I'm going to go over here. Okay, we've got our dumbbells purple. This time, let's make the dumbbells red. See if we can do that. So image, adjustments. We're going to use hue saturation again. See if we can get them to be red. So you'll notice on the hue saturation, you're like, wait, I'm on green and it's turning them blue. I'm on blue and it's turning them some ugly color. Okay, that's because it's using that hue in addition to the hue you had. So it's combining them. So I'm trying to find something that's going to be red. There we go. That's looking a little more red. Found something that made them look red. Okay. So I'm going to click OK once I've turned them red. I want to deselect. Okay, and I've got my purple version, my quick selection version. All right, go to the background, duplicate the background layer again, drag it to the top. We're going to call this one Magic Wand. And drag that to the top. All right, we're back to our original Magic Wand. I was once told, so I used to attend these conferences that were put on by, it was called NAP, National Association of Photoshop Professionals. They do them in these great big conference halls. Like there's 500 and some odd students at this thing. And there's a guy sitting up on the stage with two massive screens. Okay? And he's showing you how to do Photoshop stuff. And you're in there with a workbook. You can bring a laptop and work along. A lot of people just went and watched. And it would be all day long. And you would learn as much as you could. And you had the workbook and you could take it home. And it costs like back in the day, it was like $200 for a day to go to these workshops. The one thing that so National Association of Photoshop Professionals was run by a guy named, why can't I think of his name? They changed their name from National Association. Hold on. Just because it's hurting my brain not to remember. I had it. Okay. Kelby one. So Kelby is the guy who ran this. He was like the national Photoshop guru. And in one of his sessions, he said, if it says magic, this was him said, if it says magic, don't use it. He said, there is no magic in Photoshop. There's work in Photoshop. There's figuring out in Photoshop. There is no magic in Photoshop. Okay? Well, sometimes it can still be useful, though. Okay? So we're going to use the Magic Wand. Magic Wand is a selection tool. What it does is it chooses pixels based on a color. Okay? Now, when I've got my Magic Wand chosen, you have to look up top here. You have to look at your options bar, okay? Because the first thing we're going to look at is this tolerance level. Do you remember yesterday we talked about fuzziness? Okay, tolerance and fuzziness are almost the same thing. It's how far from that original color can I be, and I'm still making that selection. Okay, it can go anywhere from 0 to 255. If I turn mine to 255, and I click on this blue area, it still selects almost the entire thing. Because it's telling me you can be 255 levels away from this and still select it.
It's usual. It doesn't like the rubber road thing.
It what?
It doesn't like the rubber road thing, like the last.
Yeah, that's because it's probably so opposite on the color wheel that it does that. I'm going to deselect. Okay. I'm going to set this at 0. And I'm going to click here. And I don't even know if you can see it. I can see it on my screen here. If I zoom in.
It shows the singular.
Tiny.
It's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7 pixels that are a 0 tolerance away from that color that I chose. So I clicked on one of these, obviously. Okay, now, here's something else you got to look at, though. I'm going to control 0 this. It's this, so I'm going to set this back to 32 as the default, and it's usually a good starting point. There's this word here, contiguous. What are the 48 contiguous United States? Everything but.
Ohio.
48 contiguous United States. Everything but
Alaska.
Hawaii and Alaska. Contiguous means that they are touching. So, if I uncheck contiguous and set this at 0 and click, ooh, I have something selected right now, and click here, okay, you will see, you see that? It has selected all the pixels in this whole image that are 0 tolerance levels away from whatever pixel I clicked on. If contiguous is not checked, it's going to select everything in your image that is that color. And if I'm 32 away, so I'm going to deselect, get back to 0, put my tolerance back to 32. Don't select contiguous. I'm going to click on, sure, I'll click on the blue. Okay, 32 levels away, it's also taken some of this, different parts of this that fit inside that tolerance level. Okay? Anti-aliasing kind of checks that where pixels start to fade out. And if you anti-alias, it'll make sure that it's taking that into account when it's selecting. Okay, I want to deselect. Okay, I want to use this because object selection isn't going to work on this thing. Okay, neither is quick select. I want to see if I can figure out how to get all the red pixels, because that's the only thing that's red on here. Figure out a tolerance level. I'm unchecking contiguous because otherwise I got to click on both sides of this, or actually all over the place probably. I need to try and use this tool to get all of the red rubber rope thing from this chest pole thing. Okay, try that. So you got the magic wand. Uncheck contiguous. We're going to click on this and I can see that I don't have enough of the red. So what do I need to do?
You need to increase the tolerance.
Increase the tolerance, yes. So I'm going to deselect and try it again. Work at it, see what you get. And I zoom way in to see how it's doing.
It's pretty close.
Pretty close, but it's going to have a red edge on it, isn't it? And what's it going to do in here? Ooh, that's ugly. Yeah, so I'm going to have to use some other tool to add in probably. Does that make sense? Okay. Just kind of checking things out, making decisions. I might decide, oh, that's not good enough. Yeah, look at how far off I am here. So I might have to do some other things. Now, also right here, I have this option, add to selection, just like I did with the quick selection tool. I have subtract from the selection, and I have something here, intersect with selections. It's only going to choose things that are both. Okay, that would meet both criteria. Okay, so I could zoom in, get to my plus, which I can also get with a shift, and click in one of these and see where that takes me. But now, that worked well, didn't it? But that's because I've got a tolerance of 100 still. So maybe I could have done that, but had turned the tolerance down again. So I'm going to just Control Z and undo that part of it. Okay. See how well, see what you can come up with. And when you have something that you like, okay, and you think you got it the way you want it, well, no, I don't want you doing it. So I want to show you one more thing here. This might not be the best one to show this on, now that I think about it. Okay, just, how do I want you to do this? Watch up here quick. Okay, there's a button down here. It's below your color selections. Okay, your background and foreground color. It's the quick mask mode, and if I click on it, okay, I get this overlay, okay, that will put pink everywhere that's not selected. Okay, and if I want to increase the selection, I can paint with a paintbrush in quick mask mode. Okay, if I'm in white, I've switched my colors to white. Notice that that turns white. And when I go back out of quick mask mode, it's added that to the selection I already had. This isn't a great example to show it on and to use it on because the darn rope is red and I can't see. Now, you can actually go in and change your quick mask color. Does it let you do it straight from here? I can't remember. I think you've got to go into your preferences to change your quick mask color.